Hi everybody, it's Waltham Walker here. Today I'm in Waltham Abbey. The walk's not actually going to be in the Abbey, but as usual I start off here so I can cogitate and decide where I'm going. I'm so indecisive. Today I'm going to get a train to, where am I going? Luton Airport. No, we're not going abroad, we're staying in the UK. I'm going to begin my walk there and walk southwards to St Albans and see what we can find. Anyway, without further ado, put your best foot forward and enjoy the video. Today I'll be starting my journey at Waltham Cross railway station. We're going to head towards St Pancras International and there we will pick up a train to Luton. We're at King's Cross, St Pancras now. Just coming along this walkway. It's really colourful. It's really nice. Really brightens up the area. So here we are, St Pancras Station. What a splendid piece of architecture. Just arrived at Luton Airport Parkway. This rail station was opened in 1999 by Her Majesty the Queen. The capacity is 10 million passengers a year. Good to see the wildlife surviving. This was here a long while before the airport would have been. A good mixture of plantation. I don't know much about plants and which ones are what. There's some blackberries there right in front of us, I know that. It's quite a good mixture of wildflowers. You see, what I've always been told and what I always know is that you'll never beat Mother Nature. So you could put what you like here, all the pollutants in the world. Mother Nature will always find a way. Started to climb up this hill. I've been told by the guidebook not to come up the hill because it's off the beaten track, but curiosity that I have, I'm going to have a look. There's just another road. There goes a plane, I think. I've got to watch it here, especially I've got a track record of losing myself. I'll end up on the main tarmac. That did, in actual fact, that did actually happen to me in a previous occupation. Took a few wrong doors in Luton Airport and ended up on the tarmac and quickly disappeared. How bizarre! To my left I've got the railway line. I've got this path here which obviously I'm walking along. To my right, about 30 feet down, is the road. Up above we've got Luton Airport, or planes taking off and coming in, but you've got all this wildlife. It's amazing how it survives, but it has, and it's really well done. The first silhouette we can see is of Eric Morecambe, who's most famous for his award-winning comedy double act with Ernie Wise. Their hugely popular television Morecambe and Wise show was known for its visual comedy, song and dance routines, catchphrases. Eric lived in Harpenden and was a director and lifelong fan of Luton Town Football Club. The second silhouette is of Capability Brown. He is England's best known 18th century landscape designer. He designed gardens and parkland for many English country estates and was famous for telling his clients that their estates had capability for landscape and improvements. He created the landscape of Luton Hoo. The last silhouette represents the first Luton Sea Scout troop, which is one of the oldest in the country. They combine traditional scouting with sailing and canoeing, using the lakes created by Capability Brown. Right, I've come off the main footpath now. I did do a bit of research before I come out. This is the remains of a disused railway. And this comes right across, this goes across the main road, the main A road into Luton, and we should arrive at the old Luton Hoo station, or the remains of it. Let's continue our walk. There we go, we've just met up with the River Lea again. Just got to go past, this is actually right near sewage works. We've got to get past it. I'm going to have to get past it really quick, I think. Luton Hoo Station House is now a private residence and is all that remains of Luton Hoo Station, which closed in 1965, along with the Dunstable to Welling via Luton Railway. That had opened in 1858, 10 years ahead of the nearby Midland Main Line. The Prince of Wales, the future Edward VII, used the station when visiting Sir Julius Werner at the mansion. Guess what, folks? We've lost the River Lea again. It tends to happen out here. It sort of goes away, comes back, and yeah, you can't actually. I mean, people say they walk the Lea. You can't actually walk it. Only because certain parts are just they're off the beaten track basically, and quite dangerous to navigate on foot. I am actually using a book. I've book for reference, although I've read quite a bit in research as I come out. There's loads and loads of information about the Lea. It's written at different times, obviously, and at a time when sometimes you had access, and nowadays you don't. Either way, it's a good walk. It's a good walk. This along the disused railway and Sustrains path, the cycle path. Really good. Let's continue and keep our eye out. Listen to the sound of running water. The only water I can hear at the moment is this massive sewage farm, and it's not too pleasant either. Let's get on with this walk. If you look just down there, you can see the River Lea. Here we have East Hyde Bridge. This separates Bedfordshire from Hertfordshire. So this side here, Hertfordshire. If I just watch myself hop across the road, mind the traffic if there's any coming. Bedfordshire, that side. The village has a remarkable Romanesque style church built in 1840. Architect Benjamin Ferry was inspired by Canterbury Cathedral's Norman guest house to create the outside staircase. The Church of England Village Church, dedicated to the Holy Trinity, was closed in 2008 and has since become St. Charalambos Greek Orthodox Church. Just arrived at a place called Cold Harbour, just outside Harpenden. Got the Red Cow pub. There's been a pub here since 1851, and for a time in the 19th century had a small grocer's shop attached. We've got the old Red Cow. Just on the Cold Harbour Bridge now. This bridge, by the way, was built in 1964. Previously they had a Ford, and the AA, the Automobile Association, had a marker post telling motorists the depth of water. That's quite a torrent on that at the moment. I'm wondering if it's raining upstream. It's threatening, believe it or not. Of course it's threatening. Every time I go on a walk it rains or threatens to rain. I reckon it's probably raining in Luton or Bedfordshire way. Coming along this dark path now. Better get a move on. It's going to start raining. There we go, had to go Wolf and Walker, didn't it? It's all been closed. Don't think I can go up there, it's a new bridge they're building. Never mind, we'll go back. Ladies and gentlemen, I've given you a bit of false information. The river in Batford Nature Reserve is actually the Batford Springs. It runs off of the River Lee, so the River Lee's just over to the east where I'm standing now. Anyway, I'm glad I've got that off my chest. I couldn't give you false information. It's like any of my videos, I won't intentionally give you false information. If you ever find that, I mean, I will do things wrong, I'll say things wrong, not intentionally of course, and please feel free to correct me in the comments below. I'm not perfect, I'm far from perfect, as you probably will know. All Saints Church in Batford. Not keen on this one architecturally, it's a bit too ultra modern. I think in a few centuries time it'll come into its own. I'm sure it will. But no, I'm not keen on the architecture. Batford Methodist Church. Getting quite a few of these churches in. This is really unusual. Unusual, unique and not very nice. Very nicely done. Won't be able to get in there as usual. I must come on a Sunday or when they've got a tea or coffee afternoon. I won't go too far because I think that could be a vicarage. Yeah, impressed. Even got its own Indian takeaway here. And Batford Springs Nature Reserve. Some sort of education centre, I would think. Not open, of course. Gibraltar Castle pub. I can't go for a drink, I'm driving tomorrow, so looks nice. What you can see in front of you now is a former water mill. The River Lee was actually diverted around it when they stopped using it. It's now just offices. That cottage has actually got a dog on top, I've just noticed. Let's keep an eye out. Oh, lovely house. So it turns out only part of the Batford Nature Reserve's closed, so I'm going walking. It's actually a circular route, but I think I'm going to get lost. I'm going to end the walk here in Batford Nature Reserve, folks. Hope you enjoyed the walk, hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, follow, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!